Welcome to Strength for Today and Bright Hope for Tomorrow, Part 2. In the list of American presidents, one man shows up twice, Grover Cleveland, the only chief executive to serve two non-consecutive terms. He occupies the 22nd and 24th spots in the roll call of presidents. He's also the man who dedicated the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor, and he's the only president to have gotten married in the White House. He was 49 at the time. His bride, Frances Folsom, was 21, making her the youngest First Lady in history. Their romance took the nation by storm. Grover Cleveland was a Presbyterian preacher's kid who was thoroughly trained in Christian truth. He grappled with titanic issues in office, and in the middle of a national financial panic, he faced a personal crisis. He was diagnosed with cancer and endured top-secret surgery aboard a friend's yacht, the news of which was hidden from the nation for years. Nevertheless, Cleveland kept up his strength and routinely worked past midnight. Historians have lauded him for his industrial integrity, courage, and common sense. His dying words summed up his life: "I have tried so hard to do right." The secret of President Cleveland's energy is found in the motto he lived by. It was a biblical promise which he framed and hung directly over his bed, so he could see it every night on retiring and every morning when awakening. I don't know who crafted the engraving for him, but he valued it so highly that it hung on the wall of his law office before his election, and afterward in his bedroom at the White House. Throughout his life, he kept it within eyesight. It contained a family crest, beneath which were a set of words taken from the King James Version of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 25, "As thy days, so shall thy strength be." When asked about it, Cleveland said, "If I have any coat of arms and emblem, it is that." He awoke every morning with the firm conviction God would give him the strength required for the work assigned. He believed God would give him sufficient strength for each day's task as long as he lived. That promise can sustain all of us when we awaken in the morning and when we retire at night. It's a lifetime promise of lifetime strength. The whole verse of Deuteronomy 33:25 says, "Your sandals will be iron and brass. According to your days, so shall be your strength." This means that when life is hard, God gives a proportionate amount of strength. It is as someone once said, strength for the longest day and the shortest day, for the darkest day and the brightest day, for the merriest day and the saddest day, for the wedding day and for the funeral day. The greater the trial, the greater the strength. The heavier the load, the more the strength. The harder the way, the greater the strength. It is like God has a heavenly bookkeeping ledger wherein are two columns. One is titled Our Days and the other His Strength. And the total of both of them are exactly corresponding. We read in verse 24, "And of Asher he said, Let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil." Moses tells us that Asher would wear the shoes of iron and brass, and that God would give strength for his days. But preceding that, Moses said, "Let him dip his foot in oil." As most of you know, oil in the Bible is a type of the Holy Spirit. Oftentimes in the Bible, people were anointed with oil. That oil was symbolic of being anointed by the Holy Spirit. Now here is an important lesson to learn about the hardness and heaviness of life. When we find ourselves having to wear the hard and heavy shoes of iron and brass, we need to experience the presence, power, and provision of the Holy Spirit in our life. In order to face our days of difficulty, we must be anointed by the Holy Spirit. God said He would give strength equal for our days. The Holy Spirit is God's channel for bringing that strength into our life. He is the one who equips us for our days and enables us to get us through our day. I was reading about the fish that live in the depths of the sea. The pressure in certain depths is of astronomical proportions. If you or I were placed in such depths, we would explode. How is it that these fish are able to exist and survive in such depths? They compensate for the outside pressure through equal and opposite pressure inside themselves. Christians, likewise, don't have to be hard and thick-skinned as long as they appropriate God's power within to equal the pressure without. And it is the Holy Spirit who lives inside of us. God bless you. Have a great day.